Good morning and welcome to Peace Out, where we are all learning together to peace out. Right? I think we're learning it. I think we're learning it. We've been doing this now for nearly 4 years. In like just about 2 weeks, it'll be 4 years. And I would have never thought when I started that first day that we would still be doing it 4 years later, right? But here we are, growing together, learning together, sharing together. It's a beautiful picture of what God can do, right? If we just trust Him in the middle of a storm, and after the storm is gone, and when the next storm comes, and when that storm goes away, and then the next one comes, right? And if there's one thing I'm sure of, because there's a lot of things we're not sure of, right? We don't know what a day's going to bring. We don't. Oh, we got an idea. We're going to go to work. We're going to do this. Most days I get up with a plan. We plan to go to work. We plan maybe we're going on vacation. We plan a trip. And we'll go pick up Renella or take Renella or go with the grandkids or do this with Chris or do that with Chris or the doctor's coming. Yeah, we got plans. They don't always roll out exactly like we think they should, right? Or exactly like we planned for them to. That's kind of the cool thing about going on a hike. You plan a hike, you plan the route, but it's the incidences along the way that make each one unique and make each hike different and challenges. It's that sense of adventure. But we lose that when we talk about life sometimes because I want to get up, go to work, come home. I want my day to be nice, right? And I want to be able to do what I want to do, when I want to do it. And then there's these little hiccups along the way. And that's where our peace leaks out sometimes, right? Because we go, get all frustrated. Oh, maybe that's just me. Maybe nobody else does that. So I was thinking about that this morning. I thought, you never know what a day is going to bring. You never know what is going to get thrown at you at life. And we're talking good or bad. It's not all bad stuff that comes, right? It's good stuff too. You never know when you're going to get a great call from a friend that you haven't talked to in a long time, or maybe you get an email from a past client that wants some more work. You just don't know. It could be good stuff. It could be, rough stuff. It could be in between stuff, and just no matter what, it's just, you just don't know what's going to come at you in any given day. And that's what makes the journey exciting. Right? If every day was exactly the same, that would be so boring. We would just be robotic in nature. We wouldn't even have to think, right? And thinking on our feet and making decisions and changing jobs or not changing jobs or stopping by the store on the way home. All these little things are what makes life an adventure. All these little things that come into the day. And then we can look back over the years and go, whoa, we had a lot of adventures, right? And I've been going down memory lane because Chris is going to be 40 tomorrow. My gosh, how old am I? Right, my baby's going to be 40 tomorrow. And I was thinking, man, I was just thinking back over those 40 years. I told him this is the last day you're going to be 30 in your 30s. You're going to hit the big 40 tomorrow. And he didn't care because he has a brain injury. But anyway, but I was still telling him how old he was going to be tomorrow. He's middle-aged, But anyway, I was thinking about over the years, and you don't know what a lifetime is going to bring. You don't know what a day's going to bring. You don't know what a night's going to bring. But one thing is certain. In all of life's uncertainties, God is our rock. He is the one thing we can count on to be the same from one day to the next, from 1 minute to the next, from 1 second to the next. God is the one thing that is constant. And the one good, really cool thing about God is this. It's that God is going to be with us. See, He doesn't promise that the path will be even, which is a boring hike, by the way. You want the hills, you want the rocks, you want the ledges, because that's what makes it exciting. And then when you get through, you have something to boast about. Whew, that was close. That was an adrenaline pumping experience. And it's those bumps, it's those hard spots, those tight spots, those tall spots, those climbs, those falls, the trips, the carry me out on the stretchers, moments that make the hike worth telling. And that's what makes life interesting and it makes it worth telling because I went through this. Like I've got the book. I wasn't going to say this, but I do have the book, the Year Orange Juice Saved My Life. It's about overcoming. Isn't that what we want to hear? It's about a story about I was down and I was sick and God raised me up. But it's the hiccup that makes it a good story. It's the illness, it's the bad part. Because if I didn't go through the dark part, the light wouldn't be as bright, right? Dennis Jernigan, one of my favorite songwriters and singers, said that the drier the desert, the sweeter the rain. And so the drier it gets, and these hard spots in life are what makes the story interesting, because we get through. And what makes it exciting and we're sharing is when we get through on the other side, and we look back and go, God was with us. God walked through that with me, right? Wow. And when we look back at it, we go, man, this is awesome what God has brought me through. But if there wasn't something there to go through to begin with, then God couldn't have brought us through yet, right? And so I was thinking about all these things this morning, and I've actually thought of the scripture as Psalm 37, 25. Once I was young, now I'm old. Well, there you go. It's in the Bible. Once I was young, now I'm old. But I've never seen the godly forsaken. Can't we say that? Can't we still say that? No, because that doesn't mean bad things aren't happening. That doesn't mean we don't work through difficult circumstances, or we're not dealing with a lot of hard things to deal with. It doesn't mean everything is perfect. It doesn't mean we have a picture perfect life. It doesn't mean anything except God hasn't forsaken us. And if he hasn't done it so far, chances are, the truth is, he's not ever going to do it. He's going to walk through whatever we walk through with us. And so I backed up a verse, though, as I was reading that scripture. I'll go ahead and read that. Once I was young, now I'm old, yet I've never seen the godly forsaken, nor their children, King James, hiccup, or their children begging for bread. But I backed up a verse, and it says this, or I'll go back two steps. Well, we're talking about the steps of God, of people, right? And I'll go back 2 verses to verse 23, Psalm 37. The steps of the godly are directed by the Lord. What? So he led me through that valley? He led me to that mountaintop? He directed me right into the fire? Yeah, when we follow God, we may walk through a fire, like the 3 Hebrew children. We may find ourselves in a lion's den, like Daniel did. We may find ourselves being sold and betrayed by our brothers into slavery, but God's going to have that outcome. The thing is about those steps is he walks each one with us. He doesn't leave us. The next part of that verse is this. He delights in every detail of their lives. See, he's not just a passive partner sitting over in the chair saying, it's okay, it'll work out. He's directly involved with us. He's highly connected to us, and it says he delights in every detail of their lives. We're talking about the godly here, right? The steps of the godly are directed by the Lord. He delights in every detail of their lives. He's not just waiting at the end of the tunnel going, I hope you make it. I'm here for you when you get done. He's with us, watching us take each step, right? He's watching us overcome. He's watching us chase him. He's with us. He's carrying us sometimes. He carries me a lot, by the way. Then the next verse 24 says this, though they stumble. What? The godly can stumble? He's talking about the godly, remember? The steps of the godly are directed by the Lord. He delights in every detail of their lives. Though they stumble, they will not fall. And here's why. For the Lord holds them by the hand. So he's not saying everything's going to be hunky-dory, but he is saying that at the end of the story, he's still going to be standing there with you. He's going to walk through anything you face today with you. He's going to be right there with you, helping to direct you, helping to guide you. He's on that trail with you. That doesn't mean there's not steep inclines. It doesn't mean you don't stumble on a rock. It doesn't mean you don't twist an ankle. It doesn't mean you're not going to make a mistake. It just means he's holding you by the hand, even if you stumble, even if you make a mistake. He's not going to abandon you. He's never abandoned anybody ever. And he's not going to start with you today. He's got you. He's with you. No matter what this day brings, good, bad, indifferent, he is with us. That is one thing that we can count on today, right? That's why we can peace out. Peace out. Have a great day. I'll see you guys again tomorrow.